it is always a good thing when any dispute, especially such a presidential election dispute, is taken to court. And that shows that at least our courts are giving confidence to any potential litigators that they will find justice there. And that is a good thing, because that is what plummeted us to the issues we had in 2007, when there was no trust in terms of the court system. So it's a good thing. And to take it further in terms of your question, overturning an election, a presidential election especially, is not an easy thing. That people must understand. It is not a walk in the park. In fact, the norm is that it should be extremely difficult to overturn an election, even if it is an MC election, because that is the will of the people that has been expressed. And if you look at the Constitution, it has laid out the threshold in the election in terms of how elections are conducted. And you must demonstrate, you know, to the standard acceptable, which of course is not beyond reasonable doubt, but and not also in between the balance of probability, so that you must be able to ascertain and to demonstrate clearly and convince not only the judges, but Kenyans who will be watching, that truly these elections did not meet the threshold subscribed in Article 81 of our Constitution. That is, whatever system that IEBC was to adopt in terms of conducting the elections and eventually announcing the winner, that process must be transparent, must be simple, must be verifiable, and must be accurate. You must have evidence that impeaches that shows that whatever process that was used, it either in terms of the process itself cajoled the will of the people, or in terms of the process itself, there was no way, it's not verifiable. So in terms of the petition that is expected, that will be the threshold. Remember, 2017, they did not, the election in 2017 was not overturned just simply because of all these grounds were demonstrated. No. The only issue there was opaqueness. That they were told, let us see.
Did you just use that word?
That was the only reason why that election was overturned.
Right.
Because IEBC was asked, let us see. There are a lot of claims in terms of your servers. There was no transparency. We cannot add 1+1. Let us know where you got your results from. And the moment they did not give us or give access to that, to the Supreme Court judges, to that particular server or their servers, that became a major issue in terms of the decision of the Supreme Court then.
Right.
Now, at this particular point, and that's why I'm saying it is good to have these petitions. They help us. You see, IEBC has moved a step further to try and correct that issue of opaqueness by now giving us those results in real time as they are receiving them. They are also availing them to the public. So the issue of opening the servers is no longer an issue, I believe, in this election, because they are already there. Everyone had access to them. So it is a step in the right direction in terms of transparency. And that's why I'm saying, for you now to overturn even this election, you must now go further than 2017. If you really believe you have grounds, it should be further than 2017, because in terms of mainly the servers, that is an issue that has been dealt with. So in terms of the grounds, like what they've told us, a lot will play out in terms of the IEBC itself, how it processed these results, how it announced these results, and the role of the other commissioners. Those are the main issues which will come out, but they will be juxtaposed with the fact that did they affect the numbers eventually? Because it's all about numbers. If the numbers still match, and the process, even if you impugn or you impeach the process, it is not it did not affect in any manner the ultimate will of the people, then the election will still be upheld, of course, with some directions in terms of how to better manage it in the
Yet in 2017, if I remember correctly, the court did not appeared not interested in going into the numbers. They were more concerned of the process.
The election, that's why I've told you, it's a two-pronged approach. There's a qualitative and quantitative test, and both of them must be met. However, if you look at it, the moment you have opaqueness, the moment you cannot see what was happening behind, you cannot then even deal with the numbers at the end of the day, because you cannot justify those numbers. But the moment there's visibility, and that's the question that will be asked, if you can demonstrate to us in terms of how you manage that process and eventually arrived at the numbers, then everything will check. But if you are unable to explain, if you are unable to show, to demonstrate, of course, the court will have no other option but to say, we cannot then go to the numbers. But the numbers are always very important in any election petition, because also the numbers tell you something. In fact, in these numbers, and that's what I'm saying, there's something wrong. As much as Java says we have matured, I don't think we've yet matured. There's a problem in the entire electoral process, because it should not be an automatic thing that after every election, someone is at the Supreme Court. It does not happen even in America, the most advanced democracy. It does not happen. Very rarely will you find someone challenging it at the Supreme Court. But more importantly, look at the numbers. 2017, Uhuru Kenyatta was saying he has won by over 8 million votes. Today, we are saying when we have increased the number of voters, 5 years after, we are now saying the figures are actually becoming lower in terms of people who are voting, and especially the youth. So there's something there's a problem where people must arrive at a point where they believe in the electoral process.
Right.
That's the only way that those numbers will go up, and the will of the people will be reflected in terms of the numbers.